and the Asia head of Losberger Group, a world's leader in modular construction. He's got more than 20 years general management experience in construction and real estate industry. He joined Losberger China in 2002 and led a growing team to manufacturing and rental of modular aluminum structures, providing services for large-scale exhibitions and mega events, for instance, the Beijing Olympics or the Shanghai World Expo. Before Losberger, he also held very senior executive positions in Germany with companies in construction and again the real estate industry. I'd request him now to address all of us, and let's bring him to the podium with a big hand. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Frank Gaenzla.
Is this tall enough for me? Can I use this one?
Yes, whatever's comfortable.
Good afternoon. It's working? You hear me? Yeah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Binu, Mr. Badhat, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to wake everybody up after the lunch break. So I have the task to keep you awake for the next 15 minutes. I hope I can do. To start with the topic of new trends in outdoor structures, I give you a little view about how we look at this topic from our Losberger side. And when I copied the PowerPoint onto the computer just now, I noticed it's 35 megabytes, and I was shocked because we have about 15 slides to go. So welcome to the next 2.5 hours for speech from me. No, just kidding. I show you a video which is exactly 2.5 minutes about the Losberger Group and what we are doing. I have to show this video to make my marketing department back home happy, so please give me this 2.5 minutes. And then I will talk a couple of minutes of the other topics that we see here on the screen. So if I can manage to play this video.
From a simple product to a global vision, it all started with a tent. 100 years ago, our company began manufacturing tents. Today, we deliver flexible temporary space solutions to meet nearly all requirements. We have developed a global company, and we have the know-how to produce and manage temporary spaces for every conceivable purpose. More than 800 people in 11 subsidiaries and sales offices serve over 5,000 customers and generate revenues of more than 200 million euros. The extraordinary modularity and flexibility of our product range, our customer service, and our exceptional personnel is the secret of our success. We find custom-made solutions for every type of application and customer. Due to our clients' needs and expectations, we always find the perfect solution. Quality immaterial and driven by the latest innovations in product and process, using cutting-edge technologies. By definition, temporary means sustainable and environmentally friendly. We offer and deliver turnkey integrated solutions, facility management, and camp operation anywhere in the world. Diverse and growing markets are served by us, where clients come from logistics, mining, manufacturing, retail, and warehousing. We develop solutions around education, recreation, as well as infrastructure. We can build any kind of structure for event organizers and rental service providers. We supply temporary solutions for NGOs, supranationals, and the military. The diverse requirements demand a highly flexible global market offer, which the Losberger Group is proud to provide. The temporary space is our place in the future.
That's good. I just saw a presentation about LED screens and water fountains, computer controlled. I'm so far away from this topic. Can somebody help me to get back to the... Okay, thank you. When you look at these simple slides, I would like to talk a little bit about the evolution of the roof shapes that we experienced in the last decades. We are typically coming from the classical A-frame to a bended ton structure, and the latest development in the event industries over the past years that we experienced were cubical structures. So the classical A-frame is still the cash cow in the event industries, worldwide as well as in China, where I've been working for the last 15 years. What can you do with a typical A-frame? You can print it, you can print the roof, you can print the sides, you can put a transparent roof on top of it. A little bit tricky when it comes to heat. Will be very warm, you need a lot of power for the cooling in summer. Always nice, a very white tent with a nice white fabric on the green. You can have special shapes, structures if you cut a little bit. With the A-frame, you can create a nice entrance area if you recess the gable a little for one unit, because we all come in 5-meter grid frames. You put the gable back by one segment, you put some lights there, you put a logo there, and you have a great entrance area. The Arcum roof we developed in, let's say, 10 years ago to get away from this typical German beer festival style A-frame. The top of the roof is a bended aluminum profile, and the lower part of the roof beams are straight profiles. The bending is quite a technological process. It requires a long time and efforts because the bending is done right after the extrusion. After that, it goes back to the hardening process, and then it goes back to the anodizing process. The structures, same here, can be one story. Here, the Arcum with a transparent gable out of transparent PVC with a recessed gable wall. One-story structures with a roof extension. The roof extension has the advantage that the rainwater that's dropping down is not dropping down at your sidewall and leave the water stains. It keeps the water away from the sidewalls and keep them clean. As well, we can go up to widths to 30-meter span with these Arcum structures. You can put a transparent roof inside, like we have done here for Mercedes-Benz event in Beijing a couple of years ago. The same structures can come in double-story form with the terraces and the balconies. And the latest development that we experience in our structures is the cubic shapes. Starting from the small one in a 5-by-5-meter grid. It's a very interesting structure. You have 5-by-5-meter modules that you can combine in any way that you like. The issue with the cubical structures is always the rainwater, how to get the water away from the roof without creating any water sacs or damage to the roof. And with this, we call it cyclone structure, you have the advantage that you put the water away in one corner. And you leave the water down in one corner, and every tent does like this. So you can combine these structures in all possible ways without getting any water troubles. And the whole set gets especially sexy when you combine it with the glass wall and with the flooring. Very well used for events in front of the shopping malls, for the brand displays and so on. Even can be used as offices, temporary offices. The larger structures in the cubicle structures, we call them Cubo and Palas, originally came first time used from the car brands. Because what Audi did 4 weeks ago, BMW doesn't want to do 6 weeks later. Especially not at the same location and especially not in the same type of structure. So same here, we developed the flat roof cubicle structures, which is actually not a 100% flat roof. The roof still has a 6-degree angle. Same topic here, we need to get the water away from the roof. Before we did like this. So this picture was taken 10 years ago at an event for Audi. They were the first ones in China who required the cubical structures. What did we do? We put a normal A-frame inside, and we put a big scaffolding around and covered this and weighted down the scaffolding with sand and covered the scaffold with fabric and printed it. You can imagine this took weeks to install it. The outcome was nice. All these people you see here on the picture are not people, they are printed on the fabric. Inside is a standard 40-meter A-frame structure. You can still do this today. This is also a structure that is covered in a scaffolding. But you want to have the real deal. You want to save setup time, and you want to have a structure where the people feel pleasant inside. So this is a pala structure with semi-transparent fabric. Outside, a complete cubicle structure. Here you can see the inflated roof covers. As I said, we have to put the water away from the roof, so we have to give the roof cover a certain tension. It is inflated with a low pressure. You need a very small compressor for that. It's not a noise, there's no noise evolving from this. It's not bigger than a small fridge. These cubical structures, as they still have the roof angle, we cover with an attica or parapet around. It's also a specially developed system from us with a very special tensioning system. So this parapet around is PVC as well, and it's tensioned. It's very stiff tensioning. If you do it right, you can play a drum. It's like a drum, very, very hard. Very good for branding. You can print it, put anything on it, and smart and fast installation. You can do it to the extremes. Here, an event we did in Beijing a couple of years ago. And just some more pictures that we put into this slides. Another big topic that's coming up, especially we heard it this morning, is energy efficiency. When we set up for events in Europe, we usually have to deal with cold. So here we have the opposite problem as we have here in Delhi. We need to heat the structures. And as we are working with PVC and glass and hard PVC panels, it's an enormous amount of power that we have to put in. Same here, we have structures, this is in Shanghai, we have structures that stand in extreme heat in summer. In Shanghai we have hot summers over 40 degrees as well. So we need to think about something to keep the energy cost lower. This, for example, this is a project where we have conferences inside. The people inside, they would want to sit in a comfortable environment as we do here today. So what are we doing? We made some extensive testing on our structures, and we found out if you put the right glass wall, if you put the right roof covers in, you can put an energy savings bigger than 30%. What do? We have double layer insulation glass elements. These elements come in elements for fast setup for events and exhibitions and help to keep the heat out. The cleverness of this system is you can have vertical glass elements, as you can see here. You also have horizontal glass elements with 2.5 meter width. This has the effect that when you're in a golf tournament, for example, and you have the visitors inside and they want to look out, they don't want to be disturbed every 1.25 meters by a vertical column. So with the 2.5 meter wide panels, you have a much broader vision. Very welcome by our clients. We install thermal roof covers on the roof. So that means you inflate the roof covers again. It can be on an A-frame, it can be on a cubical structure. And you have up to 1.2 meters of an air pocket in between that creates insulation layer that is good enough to keep the cold or the heat outside of the tent. It is inflated. You can see the tubes going from one to the next roof cover. So that means you do not have to inflate every roof cover by itself. At one corner of the structure, you install the compressor, you put the air up, and then all the covers are connected. It depends. We can cover up to 1,000 square meters with one compressor. If the tents are getting bigger, you would want to install two. For our clients in China, we do simulations. That means when we set up a tent somewhere, we have connected engineers that calculate what is the temperature at this time of the year, at this given day, inside or outside. How does the tent react to the temperature changes inside or outside? How many people are inside of the tent? This can go to the extreme that we even move the tent around by 90 degrees because of the sun and directions. One very important part of our structures is modularity. This has been the DNA of Losberger since the beginning. But I think with the certain trends that we experience worldwide, this modularity, these aspects become really important again. Why do you need modularity? And what do we want? We want to have design. We want to have the nicest and the most special structures ever for our ever-demanding clients. We need speed. We have, in China, and you know it, we have the dramatically increasing labor costs. We install on this is in Shanghai, the new International Exhibition Center. The exhibition centers want to optimize their space. So to set up for an exhibition like 20 to 30,000 square meters like this, including the structure, the flooring, the carpet, the lights, the aircon, everything with heavyweight anchoring, they give us 3 to 4 days. So if you want to work under such a speed, you need a modular system that fits together seamlessly on site. You cannot afford any stopping of the setup work during this installation. And you also need a good team to do that. What do we want? We want to have tents as long as possible, as wide as possible, as high as possible. We want to have, at the optimum, we buy a structure once, and then we never ever have to buy any part again, because we want to set up all kind of different widths and lengths. We need to optimize our logistics when we pack the whole stuff on a truck to move from A to B. India is a big country, same as China. And last but not least, we want to have a safe environment, because in our structures, most of the time, are a lot of people. And even if there are no people inside the tents, at least we have very valuable objects inside. So what do we do in terms of modularity when it comes to new structures? We call it rondo. It's a hexagonal, octagonal, 12-sided, 16-sided structure. It depends on the width, where you can use the same poles and part of it the same beams as you have in your A-frame. A very nice structure for VIP events, or if you put a round bar in the center. It's very nice with the roof structures, so you only need to do a minimum of lighting and decoration inside, my personal opinion. This rondo structure can be cut in the middle, moved away, and put basic elements of our standard tents in between. So you would have a tent that is longer with a round shape on both sides. You can put a peak top on top of two of these basic units, if you like. And on the extreme, then it looks like this. You can do this endlessly. We did airport projects where you have like 10 of these dome peaks aligned to each other. The same goes for the Arcum roof. You can put this apse, this is this round shape at the end, also onto an Arcum tent, which from the inside would then look like this. It's a much more pleasant appearance for the structure than if you only have the 90-degree cut-off angle. At the very end, a picture of an event that we did for Jaguar. It may not look that fantastic, impressive, but all these structures all this structure has been done with standard tent parts. So that means when the customer bought this tent once, he did not have to purchase any additional items, unless you have to make the triangle for the roof or some special fabric parts. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gaenzla, for taking us through some very innovative, smart structures that are, of course, very exciting for clients, but also energy efficient. Thank you so much once again.